Brings me to something that happened this week for us, and it's along the same lines, and that was that James O'Keefe, the sort of guerrilla conservative filmmaker, captured someone who was portrayed as being a very senior level boss at our newspaper, saying, I am biased, and I'm, what is he, related to Comey? I'd never met the guy. Maybe it's a boss. I need to go find him and, you know.
Yeah, I have
fill us in on that.
I have a lot of thoughts about this. For those of you who saw it, it was an undercover operation in which James O'Keefe, who I think is a despicable person who runs a despicable operation, he essentially tries to catch people from what he sees as the left-wing media saying inappropriate things. He caught a kid, a guy in his 20s, who, to give you an idea, they portray him as a very powerful figure in the New York Times. I'd never met him.
When did he start?
Started 6 months ago. And he has a very entry-level job at the New York Times. And he said things he shouldn't have said. And he said things that, you know, were damaging, and I will deal with that. But the greater sin wasn't his, it was theirs. They sent a young woman in as part of their undercover operation who essentially made him think that he was developing a friendship. He said really stupid stuff. He said he was Jim Comey's godson. He said he had once worked undercover. Essentially, you know, he said stuff he shouldn't have said. But his sin was a sin of foolishness, and it violated our policies. Their sin was greater. Their sin was a sin of lying and subterfuge, and they're just awful.
For a purpose, I mean...
For a purpose, I mean, to ding the New York Times, they went after a kid who just started his career in journalism. To ding the New York Times, they went after a kid, and they probably affected his career forever. That's despicable. So, yes, he committed a sin, and I'll deal with that. I was raised Catholic. That's a venial sin. I was an altar boy. Their sin is a mortal sin.
Right. I was kind of Quaker Jewish. I was